I find caregiving rewarding, and I kind of didn't expect that. I will tell you that it's both a privilege and a blessing to see someone through their end of life. It's hard, but being there for them, honoring their wishes, is changes you. It's a life-changing experience, and being able to do that for my dad, I wouldn't have it any other way. It really was a blessing. And in terms of the caregiving with my mom, it's interesting. So much of caregiving is tied into family dynamics, but at a personal level, like what was your relationship as a parent-child, right? Which carries over into an adult. And oftentimes you need to work through some of that stuff in order to be the best person and the best caregiver. And I will tell you, I had to work through stuff with my mom. But coming through the other end and being a team with her and being closer to her than I ever would have thought we'd get to has been an incredible blessing, and makes this a joy. Frustrating often, but an absolute joy to be her caregiver. And kind of the flip side of the blessing and the underlying of that is there are challenges to being a caregiver as well. And I will tell you that the biggest one is letting go of resentment from past hurts. It really, really is. It's so easy to be in a situation and just wail yourself back into being that 8-year-old child and not the adult that you are, and able to interact with your caree adult to adult. And I'm not going to tell you that there aren't times that I don't still feel that way, but I can now take that step back and say, wait a second, is this really something that you need to be resentful about or angry about? And if you are, that's okay. It's part of the emotion. Or is this you just being that little kid, I don't wanna kind of stuff? The I don't wannas, I shouldn't have to. And you know what? As an adult, you do have to sometimes, and you just suck it up and you do it. I think the other big hurdle is coming to terms with the fact that my life has changed forever. And by that I mean, I had thoughts about where I wanted to retire, and it wasn't necessarily New Jersey. But guess what? I can't make plans to do that right now because I don't know what's going to happen with my mom, right? And there are other things, like because I'm a caregiver every other weekend, there are things friends do, and I'm like, it's a mom weekend, I can't. And even, I'll tell you, kind of not a funny story, but this is just the way it is. I had made plans to go to Atlantic City with friends. And I had been with my mom, and her caregiver asked for an extra day because she was going to the doctors. She was due at my mom's like in an hour. So I left my mother's, was literally sitting in the driveway of the daycare where my dog will stay overnight, when her caregiver called and said, I'm being admitted to the hospital. I said, okay. Sitting in the driveway, called the woman that owns the business and said, guess what? I'm in your driveway. Joshy's not staying with you. I have to go back to my mom's. And the next phone call I made was to friends and said, I can't go. I'm sorry to cancel on the last minute, but caregiver called. She's being admitted to the hospital. I'm headed back to mom's. I don't know how long I'm going to be there. And so, just saying, this is it. This is life right now, and things can change on a dime, and you have to be ready for it, and you have to just be at peace with it, is part of being a caregiver and part of those hurdles that you have to get over. And I'm pretty good at it now, but some of that stuff is still there. I work on it all the time.